Is the most recent bid that you and your husband for Paserno Giordano construction in Roy, the Orchard Brook Stream Capacity Restoration Project? Did you win that bid?
No.
No?
No, I don't even.
In Roy?
And what?
No, it's just a question, yes or no?
I said no.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't know what that has to do with this proceeding here. What do you do for work?
Excuse me?
What do you do for work?
Any business.
It's none of your business either.
You're a public servant.
Does anyone else from the public have anything
Here's
else
what I
to
do
say?
for work. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I draw my hands and I use my brain. When you have to use creativity and physicality, something AI cannot ever do, and all they do is trademark art, right? I started this about children. Mara wants to make a joke to her about the deep fakes, right? Cool. So there we go, right?
All about
Awesome.
children.
Love that. Cool. So what I'm going to say is when it comes to creativity and it comes to something like artificial intelligence, it makes you a dumb person. It makes you quite literally a dumb person. Because what are you going to do? Hey, ChatGPT, can you draw me Mona Lisa? Yeah, sure. Let's just steal everybody else's art on the internet, throw it in here, and not tell any of them. Is that creativity to you, ma'am?
So is that
No,
what
thank
got
you.
your question for me?
In New Jersey, one councilwoman was heated after being questioned about a local construction project.
This is the most bipartisan issue since beer. And that should tell you something.
There are Democrats here, Republicans, there's farmers, there's fishers, there's hunters, there's swingers, all in this room. Right now, there's more regulation on a bratwurst than the entire artificial intelligence industry.
I will stick to comedy when our politicians stick to policy and stop protecting big tech and start protecting the people that put them into office.
While some use comedy,
All you worry about is money, power, and your prostates.
I have faith. If you're from Tonawanda, you guys are gonna stick up for us. Because you go home and you poop and you die like the rest of us. It was really hard to come here. I didn't want to speak. It's hard to get out the door. I have neuropathy, 4 limbs. I look like I was hot as hell as a kid. But I want you to know that we are counting on you.
You won't show any concern over any of this. I'm just perplexed on your lack of compassion for where you all live. Do you not live here?
Aren't you scared?
I just don't get it.
If you vote to approve this, you are just helping those nasty, super wealthy people. Do you really want to do that?
We don't want it. We do not want these AI data centers in our places, in our towns, in our neighborhoods, in our cities, anywhere near us. Regardless of the resource they take from us, from the opportunities they rob from us, from the future that we will no longer have because of the AI data centers that you put into these towns, we do not wish for these to be here any longer, and we do not want any plans to be discussed any further.
many are heartbroken, but continue the fight every day.
It's good. I said, hope you're enjoying the paycheck.
How do you like the taste of poison in your water? How do you like the taste of poison in your water?
How y'all doing, Prince George's? I don't know about these orange shorts, but I'm from Prince George's.
Period.
Land over, right down the road, like 202, like all day. What's up? So if you're not from Prince George's, you don't need to be here because your voice doesn't need to be heard. And I'm going off script right now, but at the end of the day, I know you're paid protesters. I know you're sent here by somebody. You didn't just show up on your own because you want data centers in your community. You showed up because you had to. You showed up because you need to make $1. And I don't need to make $1.
Y'all ain't buy them shirts.
And my well-being. So y'all can kick rocks.
Big Tech is allegedly using paid protesters to support their agenda while the locals call them out.
The conversation around AI and data centers just reveals that whatever semblance of democracy still existed is completely gone.
Yep.
I mean, when these tech oligarchs can come through in a township like Saline, Michigan, and just force through their data center project after the city council said, hey, no, we don't want to do this, after the people protested and said, hey, no, we don't want to do this, then like democracy doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to Head in the Office, quality podcast that y'all should tap into. While the AI data centers have this guy.
Number one.
What do we got? I'm talking Ruby, baby. Ruby. Yo. Ruby API. Yo. Ruby. Jordan. Yo.
At least 2 people are trying to help the electorate against him.
Makes you want to cry. No one's listening. Why a data center? Why now? Why here?
If these tech folks love these data centers so much, put it in your backyard.
That's right. That's right. Or
put it in your backyard.
Put it away from people's homes.
This is why we're saying we need to slow the roll on this, because they're moving fast. We're just saying pause it so that we can move forward in a more just way.
I don't use the water for cooking anymore. I did for a while, you know. I thought, oh, you know, I've got to use it.
Right.
I wouldn't drink it. I haven't drank the water here in
it should
years.
This is my view, but it should be a right for you to be able to turn on your tap and drink what comes out of it.
This is the sediment that it's picking up. The cold water pressure everywhere is pretty bad. You cannot take a shower and wash dishes, or take a shower and fill up the horse's water.
Be starting congressional investigations on the effect on these, and figuring out with precision how we protect our water supplies, how we protect your power bills and water bills, and keep people from getting sick.
And that is New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and United States Senator Bernard Sanders.
AOC just introduced a bill to ban data centers. The AI Data Center Moratorium Act would immediately stop the creation and expansion of data centers across the US. The ban would then remain in place until Congress passed laws addressing the environmental, economic, and safety issues of AI. The bill would also prohibit the export of AI infrastructure to any country without similar data center protection legislation. Now, if all of this sounds familiar, that's because Bernie Sanders introduced the same bill to the Senate back in March. On top of all this, on Wednesday, the top Democrat on the House Energy and Commerce Committee came out in favor of a data center moratorium, which means that the very public outcry against data centers might finally be coming to the federal level. 70% of Americans don't want a data center being built where they live. At the local level, nearly 100 temporary data center bans have been enacted, and 2 indefinite data center bans have been passed in California and Missouri.
In sports, a prominent athlete is speaking out right now.
I really wanted to bring you guys to a national park. I just want to bring awareness that this year they're looking to cut $1 billion from our national park fund here in the United States. That means and you've probably heard this, but a lot of staff cuts, a lot of park rangers are being let go. That means a lot of maintenance won't be happening. And when you think to it, well, it's just nature. We don't need maintenance, but we do, to keep these ecosystems alive, protect them from humans.
This is Brie Bella, one half of the Bella twins in the WWE.
And what kills me is that this is our land. This is the people's land. This is public land. Nobody owns this. So it's hard when we're seeing some of these lands being sold for data centers, for building. But why are people selling our land and building on them? We have to protect this. We have to protect all of it. Doesn't matter what state you live in, what town or city. We have to start to really protect our national parks here in the United States from technology, from greed, from all of it.
She is speaking up and adding her name to try and warn many others of the harm these data centers cause.
What we do know from existing hyperscale data centers that have already been built is that we're looking at anywhere between 300,000 to up to 2.7 million. I've heard even 5 million gallons per year of water that's being used, right? So the noise alone from a hyperscale data center is around 97 decibels. You're looking at, hearing loss for long-term exposure to the sound that's coming from them. Also, a recent study came out and said that hyperscale data centers can increase the heat and create heat islands up to 16 degrees on the land around them. So if you think about the impacts on ecosystems and the temperature increase of the water that's going to happen, we're looking at ecological collapse around these hyperscale data centers in our communities. And then that's not to mention the rare cancers that have been tied to hyperscale data centers, the respiratory issues that come from breathing in all the toxins that they emit as well. And then the electricity itself, they need massive amounts of electricity to be powered. And what we're seeing is that they're putting a massive strain on the grid, rolling power outages that are going to be coming. Also the threat of fires. When you don't have up to code electricity in your home, you're looking at the risk of fires if you're going to flood that much electricity into the grid. You're also looking at the jobs. So they come with promises about jobs and economic development, which in the construction phase, yes, there may be up to 1,500 jobs that are available. Oftentimes those jobs will not go to local community members. They will go to construction companies who already specialize in building hyperscale data centers.
The very harm that Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, and the tech oligarchs simply do not care about at all, because those harms interfere with their profits. So you could see which one they're choosing.
AI data centers are massively contributing to the continued rise in power demand, which itself contributes to the continued rise in global emissions. And most importantly, it's growing faster than grid capacities. And even more importantly, it's growing faster than renewable energy growth, which means that even as data center energy use grows, clean energy from wind, solar, nuclear perhaps, is lagging behind. Some of the public health implications are very local, but really the effects are more global than local. So pushing up demand for fossil fuels means more CO2 is emitted, which helps global temperatures creep up, which can have local effects through extreme weather events, for example. Companies like Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Google's parent company, they all claim accurately to be some of the world's largest buyers of clean energy now. So they make huge investments in wind, solar power, increasingly nuclear energy. The problem with that is those investments aren't always very local. So they might be investing in solar energy in Texas while they're consuming that energy somewhere else in a different US state.
Even with residents experiencing it firsthand.
This was the sound at Laura Evans' home in suburban Chicago last spring, when backup generators kicked in at the data center 1,000 feet from her backyard.
And it never goes away.
Never goes away. Laura tells us the data center emits a low hum 24/7, and it's not just the noise taking a toll. She says in the last year, her average electricity bill has spiked 23%.
And how do you budget when it's changing that much in 1 year?
You can't. And the electric company warned prices could rise even more.
They need more power at the data centers.
Saying one reason why is increased electricity use from data centers and artificial intelligence. An analysis from our data team found there are more than 3,000 data centers in the U.S. About 1,200 more are now under construction or soon to be built. Our analysis finds a majority of the country's large data centers are or will be in cities, towns, or developed suburbs. The campus sits on a plot of farmland bigger than 500 football fields and will eventually use about the same amount of electricity needed to keep the lights on in all the homes in Philadelphia.
They'd be putting power lines that are taller than apparently the Statue of Liberty.
The mayor even facing an attempt to recall him from office that ultimately failed. This video shows one opponent who chanted recall at a city meeting last December. She's handcuffed and physically removed from the meeting by police.
In closing, I am calling on more athletes to do this. Brie Bella should not be alone. We should be seeing more athletes standing up against the tech oligarchy right now. Because if they are really members of the community, then they would see how their communities are hurting, how they are really being crushed here. And I would at least hope that they would add their name to the list to try and raise awareness and also stand up for the people that stand up for them. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.